Apple is on woke alert here. You know, they want you to be woke alert. They want to make sure that you know you can put your pronoun in, and before you know it, it's going to be expected, right? I mean, I thought it was bad with the darn emojis. Remember the pregnant man emoji, which didn't make any sense? There was one kid who didn't like the nerd emoji. This is how I felt when I saw the pregnant man emoji. Do we have this tape? This kid.
It's Teddy, and I'm competing against this horrible emoji.
But it keeps getting itself in trouble. The latest being this pronoun thing. So going totally woke here. Some people are saying, oh, you know, Steve Jobs would totally die. Again, if you ever saw this one. So you're going to be able to enter your pronoun because, you know, you got to be able to do that now because apparently a name like Trish or Allison or Cindy doesn't necessarily mean you're female and however you look. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just so over this. And you know what? America's over this. America's over this. This is going to help Donald Trump win. Literally, this story from Apple is going to help Donald Trump because the country's gotten so darn crazy that people are going to say, I have to. I mean, they've got a whole tutorial. Did you guys see this? Not that you want to do this, but in the event that you actually did, they're going to make sure they make it really, really easy. They've got a nice little tutorial. You can do this. You can add pronouns to your contacts. So, you know, what are we going to go through my contacts and like add pronouns to them? Come on. Enough already. Apple is having a little trouble on the business front. You see, my son may have gotten the last Apple Watch. He bought one just a day or two ago. They're no longer selling them. No longer selling Apple Watches. And they're moving part of their team, as that article shows you right there, to Texas. But starting with the Apple Watch. So do you guys use these Apple Watch things at all? Like anybody? I tried it. I'm not really into it anymore. But, you know, for some people, they like it. It's just that it's always like dinging and always going off. And usually, inevitably, I'm on the air with you guys. And it's like ding, 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 ding. Anyway, they're in trouble because they've got a lawsuit in which someone's making the allegation that they stole the technology for some of the medical stuff that's on the watch. And so consequently, they have to freeze sales of this watch. So you can't buy a watch apparently effectively today from Apple. And then on top of that, they get a lot of team members out in California, woke California, from Silicon Valley down to San Diego. In fact, the AI team members, the ones that are going to, you know, work with Klaus Schwab to make sure that AI can take care of how you're going to vote. Anyway, those AI members, about 120 or so of them, they were just informed that they have to move. They have to move from San Diego, California to Texas because they have operations down there in Austin too. I mean, that's a trade I'd take any day, but people are kind of flipping out. I'll tell you why the company's doing it. You're going to see more and more and more and more companies doing this. Tesla, of course, was one that really led the charge on this. Companies are moving because it's cheaper to operate in the state of Texas, where there's no income tax. Remember that little one? Just like New Hampshire. And so they're going to keep moving. Florida's another good example. I mean, we just have to hope that they don't change the culture too much because that's what's made some of those places like Texas, like Florida, like New Hampshire. That's what made it great, right? They have a much better economic equation that they're offering up. And so corporations want to be there, businesses want to be there, people want to be there, and your standard of living is better because guess what? You keep more of what you earn. Imagine that. So Apple, despite its wokeness, is moving some employees to Texas.